on. I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, good morning, you guys. As I sit here and wait for hopefully a few of you to get on, we are doing our very first kitchen table talk today. I'm so excited. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, good. The chat is working. Good morning, farm wife. How are you? How are you, my sister? How's it going? How's it going? Okay, so I'm making sure I have all that I need. All that I need. I printed out some fun statistics about pantry building. I thought we could go through them this morning as an encouragement, because pantry building isn't as easy as one would think it is. It takes a lot of prep, a lot of time, patience, prep, money, and a lot of trial and error. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Jen. How are you? Sleepyhead, good morning. Good morning. The sun is shining here too. Let me see if I can spin you around. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, you see the sun? It's kind of hazy though. We're gonna be 87 today here in northern Michigan, which is warm. So my plan today is to legit float in the pool. By the way, these are my new favorite flowers. These are, what are they called? They're double-petaled. I think that's what they call them, double-petaled begonias. I have them behind me too. Hold on. Let's see if I can get you spun back around. Let's see. Can you see them back here? I got pink I got the pink and the red back here. And I got them over on this side of me too. Right there. Begonias. Double-petaled begonias. They're gorgeous. I love them. I want to grow them because I want lots of them. I wish they came back every year. Anyway, good morning, Stacy. Good morning. Linda Lou, Carrie. Oh, good morning, Carrie. So good to see you. You're new here, Carrie? I'm so glad. That makes my heart so happy. Oh, 100 degrees. You know, we are supposed to get heat indices this weekend. They're saying Sunday, 110 degrees. What? I'm here for it. This Michigander who lives in 9 months of winter is ready for it. So if you don't hear from me, I'm okay. I'm just floating in the pool with a sweet tea. Oh, Carrie, long-time lurker turned commenter. Like, that is actually, Carrie, you made my entire day. When somebody has been watching me for a while and then leaves me like even a comment saying, I don't ever comment. In fact, this is my first comment. And I'm like, please come back and comment again. Please come back. You've been with me for so long and I feel like you know me and I don't know you. Come back and talk to me. Carrie, come back and talk to me. Oh, Malu, can I join you live? Well, you can't join me like in video, but you can join me here in the comment section as we're going to talk about pantry building. I printed out some fun facts this morning. I was up drinking my coffee. By the way, my cheers, my 40 ouncer to yours. We're going to talk about pantry building. This is our very, very first kitchen table talk, even though I'm not at my kitchen, but I'm at I'm in my home away from home. This is my other kitchen table out on the deck. This is where you will find me every morning to do my Bible studies and now talking to you guys because I come on here in the morning now. And it's so much fun. So thank you for joining me this morning. I know 9 a.m. isn't easy for everyone. I personally am not a morning person, so I'm a night owl, so mornings are always difficult, but you guys have been making it so much fun for me to come on here and jump on with you guys. Okay, so Kitchen Table Talk Tuesday. What I really want to do is just talk about all things that we love, that we struggle with, that that you might have questions for me on. You know, I've been canning now. I'm into my 11th canning season. So I've been doing it for 10 whole years. And I've had a lot of wins. I've had a lot of fails. So I am always here to pass the baton on. If there's anything I can answer, anything I can help you with. I've been baking bread now since 2014. So 11 years now, right? 2014? Yeah. Oh my goodness. How is time going by so fast? I still feel like I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Anyhow, I've been cooking from scratch for that long as well. I'm a mom of 6. My oldest is 29. So I have been juggling many kids for all decades of my life. So if there's any questions that you ever have for me regarding, you know, really being a good steward of your kitchen, of your pantry, and of your home. God cannot bless you with more if you cannot show that you can steward what you already have well. And I'm a really strong believer in that. So what I do is I just show on camera me stewarding my kitchen well. So, and my kitchen has an extension of the pantry, the freezers, the garden, and it includes the canning and the cooking from scratch and the bread baking. And these are all things that I love, that bring me joy, because it prepares my family. And I didn't realize that until our tragedy in 2021. For those of you who are newer here, I lost my husband to a drunk driver when we were hit head on. And my family had to live off of my pantry that him and I had built for 10 months. So for 10 months, other than getting fresh bread and like maybe milk, you know, the dairy stuff, and maybe lunch meats, everything was out of my pantry. So I didn't realize, you know, all this time when Matt and I were building our pantry, we were preparing for like national emergencies, and we had no idea that the true emergency would come when he was killed and I was critically injured and in a hospital for 2 months. So what does that look like? And you can say the same thing about job loss, injuries, getting sick. So many people, I'm watching a young man right now who was thriving. They found a tumor on his pituitary gland. He can't work. He can't have no emotion. It's pressing on his brain. It's pressing on his eye. It's like, and now all of a sudden, like that, his world has changed. Thank you, Shelby. It's my Jesus light. So what does that look like? So all that time I had been preparing for, like, you know, COVID lockdowns, and, you know, are you ready for civil unrest? And are you ready for, you know, supply chain problems? And all of those are extremely important. Don't get me wrong. It's extremely important. Fear comes in with a lot of that. And so I rebuke that in the mighty name of Jesus. I will not build anything through these hands that God blessed me with fear. So everything that's going to be flowing through these hands is going to be love, 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 love. And I just watched a sermon on Christians saying, you know, that they're compassionate and they're empathetic. And I have said it myself, like this, our tragedy taught me so much, but it taught me about really about compassion, about empathy. And this sermon was about how those aren't fruits of the spirit. You know what a fruit of the spirit is? Love. And really that's what compassion and empathy is love. So what I would love to do here on Kitchen Table Talks is talking about all of this and how can you better and I better steward my kitchen, steward my home, so that if there's either a national emergency or there's a personal emergency, that I'm lined up and I'm ready to go. Everything is stable. Everything is secure. So that's what I want to do on Table Talk Tuesdays. Oh, let's see, do we have a lot of trolling? This is why I have considered doing these live streams under a membership for the $5 a month, and then that way we can have these lives, you know, weekly, and I want to do several of them without a lot of work, without a lot of distraction, because where God has his hand, the enemy will try to come and pick away at. So if we find that we have just a lot of distractions, you guys, I might consider doing these lives behind the membership. Shelby, thank you. These are dreadlock extensions. I do have a whole video on them. They're very easy, and they are a hair protectant to help. I had alopecia from trauma, and this is helping to heal my hair. It's all braided in. I love it. It's very, you know, it's so easy, especially in the summer. I've been here for years and never commented, but I wanted to say hello. Friday Thrifters, hello. Okay, promise me you'll say hello. At least hello. If not, join the I would love for you to join the conversation, but at least say hello. This makes my day. I love this more than anything, you guys. When I see somebody who's been following me and then they leave me, they start talking. Oh, I just love it, because I'm a chatty Cathy. Come on, you know that Friday. You know I want to talk to you. Good morning, Bubbles. Yeah, mention God and the trolls gonna troll. That's right. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. We are rebuking trolls in the mighty name of Jesus. But here's the thing, trolls. Even though you're probably gonna get, you know, where you can't comment, I hope you stick around and listen and learn a thing or two, because you as well need a pantry. Okay, so I printed out some fun little benefits versus cons when it comes to pantry, because it's not all sunshine and roses, okay? And I don't want anyone to think that like building a pantry is super easy. I know that people that have a pantry that give, you know, advice on how to build one, you know, by picking up, for me, I only buy what's on sale, and when it's on sale, I pick up 2 or 3 instead of just 1, and I put food by. And I just do that little bit by little. Yes, I don't have a farm, Shelby, I have a homestead. I'm on, let's see if I can spin you around. Oh wait, spin you around the other way, Shelby. I'll lift you up. I have you on my tripod. So there's my homestead. We have 3 acres. We have a little garden. We have, do I say a little flock of chickens? We have about, I don't know, 100 chickens. And we homestead just a little bit. So I don't have any livestock, like as far as like goats or a pig or a cow or anything like that. And I'm unable to because of my injuries. I can take care of chickens well, but I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew. But you don't even need, for a long time, my late husband and I homesteaded in a double wide rental. on rented property where we were not allowed to garden. So I gardened in Home Depot, 5-gallon Home Depot buckets. And people used to make fun of me and I didn't care because I was growing tomatoes. So, yeah, see, chickens are livestock. Some people don't think of them as livestock, though. I do, because they are, like, you know, you do have to go out. You have to have, you know, special housing for them and stuff like that. So I have chickens, but I don't have anything else, and I'm not interested in anything else. Everything else that I get, I can get from neighbors that live close to me, locals. So my honey, although we are thinking about doing honeybees, just because honeybees are at an all-time quick decline. So we do have a beehive. We have not put it together yet, and we're praying over that. But our honey, our maple syrup is all local. Our cow is purchased from our neighbor next door, who also sells pig. And then my dairy, I can get my milk at the local Mennonite store, which is pasteurized but not homogenized. So you get the cream on the top and all that. It's wonderful. So everything, and then of course I have eggs myself. So everything that we need, we can get locally. When you pay the feed bill, you realize that chickens are livestock, right? That's so true. That's so true. That's why I love summer, because they free range and the feed goes way down. You know, like they slow down on the feed because they're eating grass, they're eating bugs, they're eating mice, they're eating snakes. They're good little adventurers out there. I find all sorts of things. I don't like others don't in the beginning. I put up so much food, we can't use it all. Yes, and taste buds have changed. I couldn't see it put in the garbage. Love your videos. That's one of the things we're going to talk about, Gail, and I'm so glad you mentioned that, because I will tell you, even seeing some people's videos, you'll notice that the stuff is sitting there 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years later. They're still videotaping, and the same stuff is still in their pantry and hasn't moved. So how much is too much? How much do you need for your family that you will feed in case of an emergency? And I consider an emergency all things, including getting sick. Like, how many people, you know, just fall ill and then they're sick for like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and they can't go out and grocery shop. So how much food do you want to put by? Just because I want to put a year worth of food by doesn't make a year perfect. Some people like 3 years. Some people just want 3 months. What I would say is put more than 3 days by. And so that's where we're going to go into some of the things I printed out for you guys, because some of this I found really interesting. So we're going to talk about the benefits, the pros, the good of pantry building versus maybe the few drawbacks or the cons or the bad aspects. So first, let's start with the good. So emergency preparedness. 95% of Americans say that they're concerned about emergencies, but only 39% have a 3-day food supply or more. But 3 days, that's the average. When I first heard this statistic, like, I couldn't believe it. So I had to go to some of my girlfriends, and I'm like, how much food do you have put back in case you get sick or injured, or, you know, goodness forbid, you know, something happens. And I was shocked that so many of my friends have less than 3 days of food in their pantry. Most people have a cabinet. Now, some of us have a room. Some of us have a place. For a while, I had a place. I didn't have a pantry, so I used to keep shelving in my dining room. I've kept shelving in my laundry room before. Now I have turned a bedroom into a pantry. Some people have a walk-in pantry, which would be such a blessing to have. I want to create the bedroom that we're using right now for a pantry. I want to do an archway from the dining area to the pantry and just have it all open and have like, and have it like all, like where you could see it. That's my dream. It probably never happened because it sounds very expensive, doesn't it? Some have a basement pantry. I kept mine in the basement for when we first lived here. I kept mine in the basement at the bottom of the stairs. We have a Harry Potter closet that I still store all of our like emergency equipment in. So, but 39% have a 3-day or less. That's almost half of us, you guys. It's almost, hi Susie. It's almost half of us. So, those are the people that we're talking to as well. Somebody who doesn't have a anything to like lean on in case something happens. And I'm here more talking about personal emergencies because those are more apt to happen to you than a national emergency. And I think as preparers or preppers, I call myself a preparer. Sometimes we lose focus on that. I know I did before our tragedy. So that's where I'm coming from. Okay, major cost savings. So cooking, oh wait, let me add this. Households with a stockpile, so little food buy, are 3 times more resilient during natural disasters, job loss, and supply chain disruptions. 3 times more resilient than those that don't have a little stockpile behind them. So that is something to think about and consider. Okay, major cost savings. So cooking from scratch can save you up to $3,000 a year for a family of 4. That's a lot of money. That's a vacation. That's a vacation. Buying in bulk and preserving seasonal produce can cut food costs by 30 to 50%. So, buying in bulk and preserving food, getting you, a water bath canner is a great way to start. But there's only so many pickles and relishes and jams and jellies and salsa you can eat. The real money savings, and I've always said this, and any canner will agree, the real money savings is going to come when you start pressure canning. And if you can't grow your own food to pressure can, which of course is going to give you the most savings because a packet of seed costs, $2-3, and you can get a ton of yield from that to put food by. Even if you can't grow a garden, you can still go and buy in bulk. If you don't have like a farmer's market or even like somebody local that you can buy from. My girlfriend grows asparagus. I'm like, do you have enough I could can up? So like even just networking with your friends who might grow something, you might grow something, maybe you can switch off. Even if you don't have that, you can go to places like Aldi. I have bought in bulk at Aldi and canned. I've bought their pineapples. I bought, a dozen pineapples from Aldi when they used to be 99 cents. I don't know if they're 99 cents anymore. I bought green beans from them. I have done radishes. I have done mushrooms. Aldi sells cases and containers where you can buy a whole case of them, of mushrooms already pre-sliced. So you can can them up if you use mushrooms. If you can get them at a good price, I buy bulk from Aldi. I buy bulk from Sam's Club and Costco. I have a membership to both. I had Costco. Danny had Sam's Club. So when we got married, we had both. And I don't want to give up either one because I like bouncing between both of them. So you can still do that even if you can't grow it. Health improvements. Home cooked meals are linked to lower obesity rates by 28%, improved nutrition intake, and fewer chronic illnesses. Skill development and self-efficiency. Families report feeling more confident in food security. I don't know about you. If you've never had a pantry or you've only had like, you know, a 3-day supply, do you know what it feels like when you go grocery shopping and all of a sudden you have a full fridge and your cabinet is full again, and you just feel like, and you got chips, you got, you know, you got your lunch meat, you got everything. And you just feel like, like the house is replenished. That's what building a pantry is like, except probably 100 times more intense. The feeling of safety and security that comes with it, it's the same as, and I've extended my pantry. I have a laundry pantry. So I have a stockpile of toilet paper and paper towel and napkins down there. I have a stockpile of laundry detergent and fabric softener sheets and OxyClean. I have a stockpile of Dawn dish detergent. I have a stockpile of vinegar. I have a so the pantry can grow into other areas of your home. Stockpile of soap for the bathrooms and you know, shampoos and things like that. So once you start on your pantry, you'll find other facets in your life you're going to put a little bit behind you. So when I see bars of soap on sale, I don't just pick up one. I'll pick up two and I'll put one by. Skill development. Oh, let's see. Skill development and self-efficiency. Families report feeling more confident in food security, and they develop intergenerational traditions that promote self-resilience. So this one is a big one for me because, and I'm telling you, you know, when they say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, my boys now that they are buying all their own homes, they all live in, I've got my 3 oldest are all in their own homes now. All of them have a pantry. Now my youngest of the 3, who's 24, he's 25, he just turned 25. He just got his house. So he's at the very early stages of the pantry building, where my oldest son has been, bought a house a couple of years ago. And he is now turning a room in his basement into a full walk-in pantry. And it's like seeing the sprinkles and seeing your kids do it. It's such a blessing. My son, who's engaged to be married, they have a pantry. They have a little stockpile. So your children, this is like generational. This is generational. And this is what was lost, right? Our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, they all did this. And then it kind of got lost as the generations went. But we can revive it. We can breathe new life into it. And we can teach our children how to do this just by them watching us. Reduced waste. Reduce food waste up to 75 pounds per person per year, which is roughly $600 per person. You will waste less food if you put food by. Preserving food extends shelf life, preventing spoilage. So now let's talk about, so does anybody have any questions about the pros of pantry building and why you should do it? I'll be streaming again, Shelby, on Friday for our Prayer Circle Friday. Good morning, JR. I've given up stockpiling because I'm going to move in with Grant. Grant, I love you so much. Grant, you always make me laugh. Every time you leave me comments, you always make me laugh. I love you so much. You are such a joy. The feeling of accomplishment and having a safety net. Absolutely, Amy. Oh, Gigi Gale. Okay, I will. Hopefully, I'll see you back here on Friday. Oh, Steffi, thank you. Okay, so now let's get into You got bullied, Junior? You got bullied yesterday? All right, you'll have to tell us what happened. No food waste here. All remnants go to the poultry. That is so true. That's one great thing about having chickens. The only thing we waste is what? Onions and potato peels, like potato skins. They don't eat that, mashed potatoes, anything like soft like that. And those will go in the compost. But for the most part, chickens take care of everything. I love them. I love them so much. They're like my favorite. Okay. Now let's talk about the drawbacks, because there are a few cons when it comes to building a pantry. The first one is time commitment. Okay, so preparing food from scratch, when you're cooking from scratch, can take up to 2 hours a day, depending on what you're making. So cooking from scratch does take more time. This is where I struggled when I first learned how to cook from scratch. My first dinner took me like 5 hours to make. I'm not even kidding. And I cried. And I cried every night for a month. The entire first month I cooked from scratch. I was miserable. I cried. And then the end of the month came and I still had food in my cabinets. I still had dinners I could make. And I had not had that. We were on food assistance and we were struggling. And so after that first month of crying, when I still had food in my pantry and I still had the ability to cook for my children and nobody was going hungry, it changed. Then my tears of misery turned to tears of joy and tears of accomplishment and tears of safety and security. That's when I got that first ping in my gut on food safety and security, like how important it is, and you don't realize it until you don't have food. So when I got that feeling, I remember saying, I never want to feel insecure again with food. I always want to make sure I have some and put some by. And that was when I got bit by pantry building and the importance of it. So, but yes, it will take you a while, especially if you've never cooked from scratch. I never cooked. My mom didn't cook from scratch except for a couple things. But those were more cheating than cooking like from scratch. My mom was like the legit OG of semi-homemade. That was my mom. Semi-homemade to the T. I loved it, but I didn't learn a whole lot. So I really had to learn from scratch. So if you are somebody who was not raised to cook from scratch, you have no idea where to start, where to begin, like I was you. So, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. So you do have the time commitment. Preserving food. So when we're talking about canning, that can be anywhere from 2 to 6 hours out of your day. I have been and canning kings and queens out there can confirm this. Sometimes you're canning, if you're doing a whole canning session, you're canning 12, 14 hours a day. I know I do that when I'm canning like green beans. And I just keep going and I just keep going and I just keep going. So preserving food does take time. Is it worth it? In my opinion, absolutely yes. The initial costs of canning is not cheap. So pressure canner will cost you anywhere between $100 and all the way up to and upwards of $500 for my canner, which is a 921 All-American pressure canner. But if you get the bigger ones, they go up from there. They can go up to $650. However, it is an heirloom piece. At least the All-American is. The Prestos hold up beautiful too. And you can pass it down to your kids. So it's an investment. Jars, lids, freezers. Like I have 3 freezers downstairs. Other tools that require upfront investment. This is going to be like your shelving in your pantry. Anything that you use to organize your pantry, little baskets or buckets or whatever it is. Food grade buckets are an investment. So There are costs behind the pantry that I think is really easy to ignore, but I think it's important that we talk about it, because when you're trying to build a pantry and you don't realize you got to have a little bit of money to do it, and so you might only be able to do it in little increments, and that's okay. That's how I built mine. I started with one shelf, and then, when we had extra money, 2 food buckets, at $5 a piece back then. They're a little more expensive now. Spoilage mistakes. This is another thing that we don't talk a whole lot about, but I think is super important, and I want to start talking about it, is up to 20% of home preserved foods can spoil without proper techniques. So when I see people canning and they're not washing their lids, or they're using rusty vans, or they're using old jars, or you'll see this a lot too, like on Facebook Marketplace, where people are selling their jars and they're just thrown in a box or they're thrown in a crate. Remember, hairline cracks can happen. You might not even see it. Jars age. And even though I am a lover of antique canning jars myself, and I have quite a collection of them, to can in them, you have to remember, we don't know how often those jars have been canned in. So I would say, if you're starting off in canning, until you are more of a seasoned canner, buy your jars new. Buy lids, buy rings. Start off with good hygiene, good care. Be a good steward over your collection. And then as you become a seasoned canner, then you can buy used from a garage sale, because you'll know what you're looking at. You'll know what you're looking for. But right out the gate, I would start with new jars that have no pressure canning in them, or even water bath canning, but really it's the pressure canning, because after a while, especially if you use a jar over and over and over and over again, I mean, it's glass, but it does go under pressure multiple times. And so as a jar ages, the odds of it having a hairline crack happens. I've had jars pop in the canner with me, and usually it's the older jars. So just something to keep in mind. And it's really important to can them properly. Just watched a video of a girl who put in all this time, all this work, all this money. I believe she even grew the beans herself. She did it the right, the tested, approved way by soaking them. But her beans had no liquid in them, in the jars. She did all these jars. They were beautiful, but they had no liquid in them, none, they were dry. So the odds of those jars lasting on her pantry shelf long term, up to 3 years, that's when the nutrients really start deteriorating, is after 3 years. But your home canned goods are as good as your seal. Now, Ball guarantees at least 18 months. It's been at least tested for 18 months. I keep food in my pantry for 3 years. I've become a really good steward of my pantry though, so I have a good rotation. I don't really have anything in my pantry anymore that would last that long. Maybe jelly, but probably not, because I would gift it to my sons before it would get that old. So, but I've had things in my pantry up to 3 years. However, if it's not properly canned, the likelihood of it being able to stay in your pantry for 3 years and still taste good or look good it diminishes if you're not canning it properly, if your headspace isn't right, if you're not storing it in a pantry that's dark and you're storing it in daylight and sunlight. All of those things are factors, and all of those things you got to kind of put into motion when you're building a pantry. Of course, we all know incorrect canning can cause botulism, which is rare. But there are up to 20 cases of botulism a year in the United States due to home canning. So although rare, it still happens. And this is why I never eat, I mean, unless it's like a pickle or something like that. But my pressure canned stuff, you will never, ever, ever see me use pressure canned potatoes in a potato salad. Anything that I pressure can like that comes to a full heat. There's a way to kill botulism. There's a way to kill any kind of spores. You need to heat it up and you need to simmer it. So usually most of the stuff that I pressure can is going into a meal. So it's getting reheated. It's getting cooked. If I'm making a potato salad, I'm making fresh potatoes. Botulism has happened a few times, and usually the cause has been a potato salad that somebody has brought to a potluck and never reheated those potatoes. You just never know how. Just because you're a good canner doesn't mean the person next to you is a good canner. Just like cleanliness in a kitchen, just because you're super clean doesn't mean that somebody else is super clean. So always keep that in mind when you're eating other people's food. I know I do. Space and organization issues requires climate stable, pest free storage space. So, you know, if you're putting it, especially Michigan basements, you know, that they're usually rock. They're usually really damp. Like those probably aren't the ideal places for your pantry building. You want somewhere dry, you want somewhere dark, you want somewhere cool. You don't want to put it in a room that gets really heated up. And those are lessons I've learned even myself by putting something, you know, somewhere where I thought it would be fine and it wasn't. So so that you have to keep in mind when you're building a pantry. And then of course, poor rotation leads to expired and wasted food. 15 to 20% of food is wasted annually from poor rotation out of the pantry. So this is something I would really like to hone in on this fall when we start really putting food by or preserving what's coming out of our gardens or coming from our farmers markets. I want to really talk about pantry rotation and I'm going to make videos on how I do it, how you go in and you lay hands on everything so that you, at least for me, I'm a visual learner, so I need to touch everything. I need to touch everything. I need to organize everything. I need to know what I have. Some people keep a list. Lists are great. If you are a writer, keep a list. Me, I got to be in my pantry. I got to physically be touching everything, rotating everything, and I know what I've got in my pantry. That serves me better than a list. But however you want to do it, and there's a book, there's a pantry book. I will leave the link to the video that I made because I reviewed this book. It was before our accident. So I don't remember the exact title of the book, but it was all about building a pantry. Her book was chef's kiss. I relearned so much just from reading her book. I thought I knew everything I needed to know about building a pantry until I read her book. Her book is so good. I still have it. So I will leave the link to that video down below in the description box. Come back after the live stream to find it and click on it and watch it. I'll try to put it in the, I don't think YouTube lets me do that after a live has been edited, added a card, but I'll double check. If I can add a card, I'll add a card, but I'll leave the link to the video down below in the description of my review of that book and kind of like I might have done a flip through with it. And so the final verdict, it's success rates are higher for households that invest in pantry building, stockpiling, and scratch cooking. especially when done intentionally and with education. So if your heart isn't into it, more at the end of the day, it's always about your heart posture, right? So if your heart isn't into it, you're not going to be successful. It's like anything else. If you really, I would say, pray over it. I would say, ask the Father how He wants you to steward your kitchen and steward your home. Because, like I said, the pantry, it starts with food, but it it sprawls out from there. It'll hit your, your bathrooms, your laundry room. For me, like even my pantry building extends out to my chicken coop. We keep 4 to 6 months worth of food on hand, bedding. We have pellets that to treat muds or floods, any kind of like pooling water in their run, in their yard. We have a stockpile of that. I have a stockpile of medications. I have bandages for my chickens. I have a whole, like, my emergency preparedness even goes out to my chickens, and that's not to mention my dog and my cats. So I've got like little vet bags for everyone, hanging up in the mud room, so that if anybody ever needed it, they could grab it. It's not outside. It's not exposed to the elements or the heat. The heat, the cold. It's controlled, and then, of course, thanks to Refuge Medical, I now have a stockpile of emergency preparedness for my family. And then I have an emergency kit that's strapped to the back of my passenger seat of my truck. In case anything ever were to happen, we're in a car accident, I see a car accident, and people need emergency care until an ambulance gets there, I've got that. So pantry preparedness will grow into all aspects of your life of preparedness. And it is really like an insurance plan. It is an insurance plan. And as somebody who has lived off of my stockpile for 10 months, it was 10 months before I went shopping to replenish what we had used out of the pantry and out of my laundry room. But for 10 months, we were okay. And it is a way of life. But it brought such safety, such security, and such comfort, because when you are in an accident or when you are sick, when something catastrophic has happened to you, not necessarily to your community or to the nation, but to you personally, knowing that my children were being fed food that I made with my own hands, that I put by on the shelves, and food that they enjoyed eating. So my dad didn't have to, they didn't have to adapt to my dad's way of cooking, even though my dad's a great cook. Or even Danny, when Danny was here cooking. My dad and Danny, and even my almost 22-year-old son, when he was here, everyone had what they needed to make food that the kids already enjoyed. So it was very seamless. Nobody had to go shopping. I didn't have to try to get money to somebody while I'm laid up in bed in a body cast, unable to walk. I didn't have to do any of that. Everything was already here. And so other than milk, and they didn't even have to get butter, because I store a year's worth of butter. So I store cheese in the freezer, so they didn't have to get cheese. Like we have eggs. The only thing they had to get was like milk and bread, because I couldn't obviously bake bread, and like lunch meat. That's it. I had all the meats, everything. In fact, I bought a cow. I bought half a cow the first summer that after our accident, and stockpiled a whole freezer. So So I had meat on hand. So, man, I cannot tell you what comfort that is, especially as a mom who felt very helpless that I could even care for my kids. At least I took care of all their food. At least all their food, all their favorites were in the pantry, and and all of their comfort care, like, their shampoos and their, you know, Mina likes that, body soap from was it Bath and Body Works, and all of that had been stockpiled in the cabinet next to the pantry. So my kids went without nothing. So it's a true gift. So these are the things I want to talk about. These are the things I want to share with you guys. Just from my experience, I'm no guru, but I am a mom who experienced personal tragedy and trauma, and I do have experience of actually leaning into my pantry, and what that felt like, what that experience was like, what I want to do different, and what I would keep the same. And so I'm hoping that these kitchen chats will help inspire you if you don't have a pantry. I hope it gives you a place now to ask me anything that you want. We'll touch on different topics because I'd like to talk about pivoting some of your kitchen tools if you have arthritis or, like me, damaged wrists. You don't have a lot of strength in your hand. I don't have fingers all my fingers don't work. So how have I pivoted in the kitchen to use tools to help me be successful? Again, maybe an investment, but sometimes if you spend $10, $20, but it gives you freedom, it gives you back the freedom to cook and to provide, it's the best money you can spend, So I have bought quite a few gadgets to help me be successful in the kitchen, where I'm not stopping and asking for help. As a very strong, independent woman, that has been like my hardest, and I believe God has humbled me, where it's okay to ask for help. But man, if I can do it myself, if I can open up that jar, if I can, if I can cut that bread or chop that onion and do it on my own without asking for help, I'm there. I will buy the chopper. I have a chocolate bucket. I have a chocolate bucket too. Pam, this is why we're friends. You are my people. You guys are my people. I have a chocolate bucket too. Chocolate is so good, especially if you're going through something, and of course it's always good to barter chocolate too, if you had to. I have bartered eggs. I do barter eggs. That's why it's so good to build a community locally around you, that, if somebody can provide you with something, you can provide them with something. In fact, Stacy's still in here? I'm going to give her, what did she say she's going to give me? We're bartering. Oh, not molasses, Heather. Not pancake syrup. Oh, what is it? It's syrup. It's maple syrup. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, because my brain was not going to find that. Maple syrup. She's giving me maple syrup, and in return, she wants. Now we both have chickens, so she don't need no eggs. But she wants dandelion jelly, because she was on a cruise, and she missed the prime picking for her dandelions. So she was going to make it, but when she came back, all her dandelions were gone. So I'm going to give her dandelion jelly. She's giving me her homemade, home-tapped maple syrup. I'm so excited. So if you've got friends that you can barter with and trade with, it's like the best. Yes, and coffee. I have I'm really the only one that drinks the coffee here. So I do have a little stockpile. Try not to do too much because coffee gets stale and I like fresh ground. I mean, I'd get it fresh roasted. If I had a place up here that sold fresh roasted coffee beans, I'd be all over it. But I'm kind of a coffee snob. So, but I do put a couple bags back and I rotate them out every month, just in case I can't get coffee. It's a luxury though. I don't necessarily need it. I could live without it. I don't want to, but I could. Oh, Carrie, see, you're my people. my my goal when I was unable to walk, I was in a wheelchair. I was in a on a walker. And then I graduated to a cane, but man, I couldn't stand for very long. So what I did is I bought myself oh, what's the brand of it? Anyway, it's an espresso maker. I bought myself one of them fancy schmancy. It was on sale. I think I got it on a Black Friday sale. So I got a good deal on it. But one of them fancy schmancy espresso makers. And it's only for me because I'm the only one who drinks coffee. And I asked Danny, I said, can you set it on the counter for me? And so he's like, okay. So he put it on the counter for me. And of course I couldn't use it because I couldn't stand long enough to make espresso. I did not have the strength in my leg to do it. And so I'm like, it's going to sit there. And every day when I had to pass that, I looked at that espresso maker. And it was my eye on the prize. Because I'm like, one day I'm going to be strong enough to stand 10 minutes in front of that espresso maker without a cane to make myself manually expressed, not expressed. And so I had that espresso maker out there. I think it took me a year and a half, almost 2 years, and it sat on my counter that long. But finally I had the endurance and I had the strength in my leg, and I cried the whole time I made it. I watched every video out there. I learned how to make it. I love making espresso now, but even that espresso maker means so much to me because it was my inspiration to get up and to get walking. Of course, I had a setback with a bone infection and a major reconstructive secondary surgery. So then I was back to square one again. Oh, I cried. I was like, oh, I'm never going to learn to be able to use that espresso maker. But every day I looked at that espresso maker and I'm like, my eyes on you. I'm going to stand there one day and I'm going to make espresso. And now to be able to stand in my kitchen and make espresso, not just for myself, but when my older boys come up, they all like espresso. So I can stand there for like a half hour now and make everyone espresso. And I can do it without pain and without a cane. All glory to God. All glory to God. God will heal. He is faithful. You just got to put in the work. It's not always easy. I have some freeze-dried coffee. Oh, for the apocalypse. Oh, freeze-dried. See, another reason to get a freeze dryer. Yes, God is so, so good. Okay, do you guys have any questions for me? I was in a wheelchair. Oh, Tuck, you were in a wheelchair. Now I use a walker. One of my goals is to walk on the beach again. Praise God, Tuck. I'm going to be praying over you. You are going to walk on that beach one day. I have no doubt. God is faithful. He is faithful and he is good. And he will see you through. And you are going to have your little tootsies in the sand in no time. I have faith in that. We are going to speak it. I'm going to speak life over you, Tuck. I live 12 miles from the beach. Oh, and you're not even that far. Look at you. Look at you go. You're going to be there. I have no doubt. If I can do it, you can do it. I have no doubt. You just keep the faith, because I know being on a walker is hard. And sometimes your arms just end up getting sore. It's just tiring. Every step that you take is just, it wins you 10 times quicker. So hang in there. You're gonna be okay, Tuck. Oh, gotta go. Okay, Terry, take care. Grow your own coffee beans in your greenhouse. I should. I gotta get electricity out to my greenhouse. I have a fan out there, but it's ran by an extension cord. I gotta get some power out there so I can do grow lights and that kind of stuff in the winter when I need it, or heat. I gotta be able to run a heater in there in the winter months. It's fine in the summer, but I'd like to extend my growing. But the greenhouse is such a blessing. I'm not going to complain. Wheelchairs, walkers, and canes are all hard on the arms. Yeah, my girlfriend just hurt her leg, and the emergency room gave her crutches, and I'm like, girl, go get yourself a walker. Those crutches are going to kill your armpits. Thank you for reminding me what a gift it is to walk freely. Amen, Bubbles. See, sometimes it takes seeing the struggles of others to make you realize like how blessed you truly are, you know. So I have bone leg pain. Oh, that's the worst. I know how hard it is to walk with bone pain. I have a lot of bone pain too, and missing bone, Janet. It's so hard. It's so hard. I'm gonna be praying for you, Janet, that your pain ceases, or at very least it's minimized. But being in chronic pain, bone pain especially, is the absolute worst. So, okay, so does anybody have any questions about pantry building, pros and cons? Was this edifying? I hope this was edifying for you. I hope this just makes you think about your, oh, Blakely, I can't. They're dreadlocks, honey. I can comb through them. But they're dreadlocks. The things people get distracted with. I hope, Blakely, I hope you focus less on my hair and more on your pantry, hun. Be focused on your pantry, Blakely. Pro being here like my grandmother, who was the best. Yes. Our grandmas just, this was like second nature to our grandmas. My grandma was from Wales, but even then she put food by. She had food by. My grandma's house was always full of food. Thank you, Simon. I appreciate you. I have basic canning setup. I can't wait to get a new stove so I can follow your videos. Yay, Tuck. Oh, I'm so excited for you. So you're new on your are you new to canning, or have you been water bath canning? Are you going to start pressure canning? You'll have to tell us more. Let's see. Hi, Heather. Do you put up a particular amount of food for each person? I don't think that, like, for my brain injuries, like, thinking per person is very overwhelming for me. So I think of meals. That's how I put food by. So when I'm putting food up in my pantry, or I'm buying for food for my pantry, I'm thinking in terms of how many meals does this make? Like risotto. I have not mastered the art of risotto like a great Italian woman. I was married to an Italian man for a long time, but I never gained the skills of his grandmother that made the most incredible risotto. So I buy the risotto. I actually really like the risotto from Aldi's. Aldi has a risotto. We get the 4 cheese, but they also have a mushroom one. And I want to say they have, I don't know if the other one is asparagus. I can't remember what the third one was, but I know one is mushroom. But my kids like the 4 cheese. It takes 2, sometimes 3 bags, because Mina likes to eat it the next day for lunch. But I at least do 2 bags for a dinner. Last night we had shish kebab. So we made risotto as a side dish. So I know it takes 2 bags for 1 meal. So when I buy risotto from Aldi, I buy it in a case. So I'll at least buy 24 packs. At the very least, I'll buy 12. Why 12? Because that's 6 meals. So, but we like risotto. It's one of Mina's favorites. And so I will stockpile risotto. So I'll buy 24 of them. I know that'll get me 12 meals, give or take, depending if I make an extra bag for her to have for lunch the next day. But, so I buy in terms of how many of those do I need for one meal. And that's how I put food buy. I try to put my goal. When I first started, I just wanted extra. So when I first started pantry building and money was tight, I just wanted to put one extra meal away. So I would buy those risotto bags. Then I'd buy 4, 2 to cook now and 2 to cook next time. Eventually, when you're buying stuff, or you're buying it on sale, or you buy a closeout or clearance or something that you use, only buy what you use. I've learned the hard way. If you buy off-brand products, things that you don't really like, you won't ever use it. You'll keep pushing it off. Though that's for an emergency. Oh, we won't eat that unless we have to. And then before you know it, it's wasted. It's long expired, and you just end up throwing it away, and it's wasted money. So I only buy what my family likes. If I'm testing a new product, I'll buy just enough to test it, and then if they like it, I'll go back and I'll start stockpiling. I'll buy 1, and then I'll buy enough to put 2 or 3 by. So if you can just focus on putting 2 or 3 meals behind you, and then eventually that will grow, because when you get 2 or 3 meals behind you, and now you're going out and it's on sale again, and I'm buying 3 more meals, now all of a sudden I have 6 meals of that product in my pantry. And so that's how I do it. We don't necessarily eat a lot of stuffing anymore, stovetop stuffing. Do I still keep it in my pantry? Yes. I will always probably keep it in my pantry. But that's like a fall winter meal, and if I'm making bread, I'm making my own stuffing cubes, right? So I don't stockpile that as much. So you'll notice, and as you grow in your cooking, as you grow in your pantry will shift and change, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. When I started pantry building, I stockpiled things that everybody else told me to stockpile. And then I ended up realizing, we don't eat all that rice. Do I need 500 pounds of rice? Well, if you're watching Good Preppers, they all have that. So I'm like, I need to have that, but now it's a waste. So I don't keep that much rice on hand anymore. I keep enough for an emergency, but I also rotate through it, and I need to use it. I need to use it. I need to eat it, because the reality is, if something were to happen, say something catastrophic in this country were to happen, and food became short and hard to get, if you're stockpiling food that you don't eat on a regular basis, in an emergency situation, you're already stressed out as it is, I would imagine. The last thing you want to do is learn how to cook something that you've never cooked before. And then you have to hope that you like it. And if you don't like it, what are you going to do? So one of these things for me was beans. I didn't eat a lot of beans. My mom used to buy kidney beans when she made a pot of chili with chili-o mix, okay? That's the only beans I ever saw in my house, were red kidney beans. My mom didn't buy pinto. My mom didn't buy black beans. She did not buy anything but whole peas for pea soup and kidney beans for chili. That was it. So when I was married and have 4 kids, got a divorce, got remarried to Matt, and it wasn't until that marriage that Matt was like, "Don't you eat beans?" No. What, red kidney beans for chili, but so I started introducing, and then of course I got into the prepping and preparedness community, and everyone was stockpiling beans. And I'm like, well, what do you do with them? How do you cook with them? Like, I knew nothing. So I started introducing beans into our diet and learning how to cook with them. And then this way, if I had, 300 pounds of beans stockpiled in a, 5 gallon food buckets, I knew what to do with them. So now, if you ask my kids about beans, like, beans are a regular part of our diet. Like, we have, I serve baked beans on toast because I'm Welsh, and it's a very Brit thing over in the UK. So baked beans on toast, but I make my own homemade baked beans. We eat beans all the time. We have refried beans. I add black beans to a lot of things. It's just it's a dense protein nutritional thing. I add beans to vegetables. Like, you make a vegetable medley, add some beans to that, add some red beans, add some navy beans. Like, so now I make beans all the time. We eat beans in place of meat sometimes. So knowing what's in your pantry, how to use it, and that you enjoy it. Build your pantry out of joy and out of love, not out of fear. When you're building anything out of fear, it's never going to work for you. It's never going to work in your favor. And it's going to be a place of anxiety and stress. And you're probably going to want to avoid your pantry because all of that negativity building out of fear and panic and putting food by because, what if is not the way to build a pantry. A pantry is an extension of your home. It's an extension of your kitchen, which is the heart of the home. And really the real heart is you in your heart. So your heart posture is so important. And it's something I don't ever really hear a lot of people talking about. Putting the heart posture and the love that flows from your hands out into everything that you do. This is why I don't, can ugly things, make ugly things. I don't throw bread together. I don't just get it done. I just don't throw it in a pot and warm it up. I don't do any of that. Everything I do to the glory of God. Everything that flows through my hands is love for my family and thankfulness and being a good steward of things. And it comes from a heart space. And when love flows through your hands and you truly love what you're doing, you're not going to be able to make anything ugly. I guarantee you. I promise you. Everything you do. This is why when people say, Heather, everything you make looks so good. I'm not. You know what you're seeing? You're seeing the love. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the absolute love and joy of doing it. And when you love what you do and you have joy in your heart, it's not a chore. You're not going to sit there and say, I really just don't want to cook. And then if you notice, like, day after day, you're saying the same thing. I don't know what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. I really don't want to cook. I just really don't want to cook because there's no joy behind it. So the real trick is, is finding your purpose and finding your joy and enjoying everything you do. And so it's not a chore. It's a blessing. It's not a curse. And it's not for everyone. It's not for everyone. But if you're here on this page, it's for you because you're seeking it. And if you're seeking it and it's laying on your heart and you want to do it, you can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. So I want to be an encourager for you. I want to be your biggest cheerleader. And I want to be a source of any kind of help that I can offer you, even if it's a pep talk. So, okay. So is that? Yes, I did that in Grandma. Grandma, she was all about love, which meant a great cook. That's right. That's why you cook with love. I don't ever measure. You measure with love. It's hard for me to measure anything because I just put my love into it. and it comes out perfect. Ah, thank you, Carrie. You're only strong when you have to. You have because you have to. Like, you don't have any choice, right? There's so many of us who have been through so much and are strong. And so those of us who have endured and come out the other side, there's no greater blessing than turning around and offering your hand for the brother or the sister that's coming in after you, that's coming out of the suffering that you just walked through. So, you guys giving me a platform here and allowing me the opportunity to lend my voice, to be an encourager to you, to be a source of any kind of help that I can give you, blesses me. It blesses me. So thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. All 78 of you on a Tuesday morning. That's right. When we are weak, he is strong. Amen. Amen. Yes. 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 That's it. Yes, please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. My girlfriend Wendy was here yesterday. I'm working very closely with her. She's helping me make dreams come true. And so we had like a business lunch yesterday, and she's like, I had to go looking for you because you said that you were making videos, but I haven't seen any of your videos. And isn't even subscribed to a lot of people on YouTube. So it's not like her feed has like hundreds of people. She's got a very small amount of people she follows on YouTube. And she's like, I had to go look for your channel. And she's like, and then I'm seeing that you're putting out all these videos. She's like, I haven't had one of them in my inbox. So I am still fighting the algorithm. So if you can make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that little notification bell's on, so next time I go live, which will be Friday for sure, that I come up in your feed. Hopefully, I come up in your feed. Hi, Rhonda. My dream come true would be if you would finally move next door. Oh, I would love that. Oh, Jen, that would be fun. We'd never get anything done, girl. It helps like a channel. Yes. It helps liking a channel. Yes, it helps liking a channel. It helps leaving a comment because YouTube's algorithm sees it as activity. That's why I don't mind the thumbs down. I've got one person that is like the first person to always, like my video, but it's always a thumbs down. They're loyal. They show up for me, even though they're a hater. They show up, they thumbs me down. YouTube sees a thumb up and a thumb down as the same. They see it as activity. They don't care if you like it or if you don't like it. So I don't mind the thumbs down to my number one fan because you give me activity. So I need the activity. Make sure that that's right. Negative posts are still interaction. So in YouTube world, they don't care. This is why you will see some channels that have a lot of drama. And it's always something. And there's always, they might get a lot of hate comments. It is done intentionally, you guys. This is how people are boosting their views, boosting their channel, because it's activity. So even like a lot of the gossip things and celebrity things is what I'm thinking about, like celebrity gossip and all that stuff. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive attention. YouTube sees it as interaction, and that's all they care about. So any kind of liking, even if you thumbs me down, doesn't matter. Helps the video, helps the channel, helps me get back into the algorithm. And I'm not the only channel that is suffering from the algorithm. I've heard many other channels. I have people that I know here on YouTube that are also struggling with the algorithm and not showing up in feeds. So if there are content creators here that you love and that you want to support, go over, search them out, find their latest channel, like it, comment, just leave even a heart, even love. Like, all of it matters. It all matters. It all helps. I do not want to pay to be promoted. That is where YouTube is pushing us. They want us to pay to promote our videos. The starting price of that is $200 for one video, to promote it for 1 week, to put it in your subscription feed. I'm not doing that. I'm not. So we have to do it the old-fashioned way. We have to like, we have to subscribe, we have to comment, and give the content creators that you love and that you enjoy that attention, and it will help their channel tremendously. And there's a lot of us out here that need help as they're pushing out the small YouTubers, and they're pushing in, you know, more of the commercialized kind of content, you know, video game content, like that, those kinds of things. So your little small homesteaders, the people that are, you know, that are trying to teach you how to cook from scratch, the small cooking channels, the small bread baking channels, are, you know, those smaller, give them some love. Give them some love. My first time you're live, it's kind to support other YouTube channel. I have 3 months old Christ-based channel. Oh, okay. So then everybody can go and check out your channel. Yes. Like, love on one another. Go over to Stacy's channel. Love on her. She lives rooted. She's going to have, Stacy, remind me tomorrow if you're going to do your Bible study. She has a Bible study she does on Wednesdays at noon Eastern time. I will be there tomorrow, as long as she has it. Let us know, Stacy, and I will share you out. But her Bible studies are incredible, and they're food for your soul. They really make you think and reflect. I tend to keep my huge pantry a secret, particularly from neighbors. No, it's impossible for me to keep my pantry a secret, because I share it on YouTube, and I've had a lot of neighbors come into my house, come and go as they were bringing things and helping me and coming and visiting, and it's something everybody knows that I have. But you also have to have ways of protecting yourself, so that's important. That's another whole topic, though. Thanks, Eric. Let's see. Any advice for a new YouTuber? I have a small channel under a different name. Amy, just keep going. Like, and I've seen this a lot, and it has turned hearts hard here on YouTube. I have seen people self-compare themselves. I've lost friendships because of this, because of jealousy, because of envy, because you're chasing after what other people have, but you don't understand the spiritual ramifications of that. You are chasing after what God has blessed another person with. He is blessing you in your own way, and that's what you need to be focused on. God is not going to give you more than you can steward well. So he's not going to give you a big channel off the bat if you can't handle a small channel. And this is something I have told many people before in the past, and they've become enemies of mine. You know, attack the messenger all you want, but that's the truth. I've seen people want instant growth, instant gratification. I want to be big. I want to make money. If that is the reason why you're doing it, you're never going to be blessed by it. God can't work with that. You have to be a tool. You have to be willing to be whatever it is that you're doing on your channel, your heart space. Ignore my cotton. It's snowing here. Snowing cotton here. You have to have the right heart space. Be prayerful over your channel. Have your heart full of joy in what you share. know that God will bring the people when in his timing, not in yours. And just keep going. Keep going whether or not you feel like you're a failure. Keep going whether or not, oh, there's only 10 people that watched my video. That 10 people you might have impacted. And God might only have an intention on impacting one. But he will bring that person to you. And so our job, whether it's to impact one or if it's to impact 1,000, it's no greater, it's no lesser. It's all the same. It's all a blessing. It's all flows through from God through us out to the people that need it. So if you pray over the people that are watching you, and you pray for obedience, that you are doing what God has placed on your heart to do, you will be successful whether you have 100 subscribers or whether you have 1,000,000. You'll be successful. The success isn't in the number. The success is in the people that you're touching. And I cannot stress that enough. If you're chasing after clout, if you're chasing after fame, if you're chasing after fortune, the blessings can never flow through you. Not to other people and not to you. So keep your heart posture. Again, it goes back to heart posture. Just keep your heart set in the right direction for the right intention, and blessings will pour over you. And the people that do come to your channel will get so much from it. And do it because you love it. You do it because it edifies you as well. So, so I hope, Amy, I hope that was good. For me, it's not about wanting to monetize. I want to share the knowledge I have. Think Titus 2 woman. Yes. So Amy, God has placed a calling on your life. Be in prayer for it, over it, and with that intention of being the Titus 2 woman and sharing that, God is going to bless. God is going to send you people, and it'll be incredible. It'll be amazing how he grows and how he works in your space. You just have to be obedient. I'm going to pray for your channel. I have to go subscribe to your channel. You have to put your other channel, because I know you said it's a different channel than your Amy one. So send it to me, okay? So I can go subscribe and I can follow you. I can watch your videos. Sometimes God protects people. If they got what they wanted, it may come with something bad happening or a disaster. Sometimes we think, is God ignoring us, and it's him protecting us. That is so right. Sometimes we want what we want, but what we want isn't always what's best for us. But our Father always knows what's best for us. So I always lean into that. Allow him to lead the way. Amen, Ruth. I've seen far too many channels who copy each other, and sadly they are mostly insufferable know-it-alls. Your channel is special. Thank you. I think the more my walk is with Jesus, the more I realize I know nothing. How little I know, how small I am, how wicked my ego is, and how I just don't, Lord, please don't put arrogance in my heart. Please don't put arrogance in my heart. And so I've changed. I'm not going to say that I wasn't ever arrogant. I'm not going to say that, I was I always wanted to help people. So my channel has always been like that. But I'll say, before my walk with Jesus, my heart posture was not, I'm not going to say probably wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't right. It wasn't what it is today. So, this isn't my channel. This is God's channel. I just steward it for him. And whatever he lays on my heart to do, I pray that I hear his call and that I'm obedient to his voice. That's what I pray for. But we like you wicked sometimes. Right, Grant? My son said when he was little, if a robber came in our house, he would run to the pantry and protect it. Yes! Lay your body over that, over all that pasta. Oh, Janet, that's a fun visual. I love it. It's about to lift the Lord. Yep. It's all about Jesus, you guys. I don't know how anyone gets through life without him. I really don't. I would not be here without him. So anyway, okay, 10:30, hour and a half. I've taken up enough of your time this morning, so I'm going to log off of here, tell you guys I love you. I am going to be praying for all of you. I hope this live stream blessed you in some way. If you have any questions for me, wait until this posts on my channel as a video and then leave a comment, because then I'll see it. The live stream doesn't always play for me or for anyone else. So I love you guys, and I will see you back here Friday for a live stream prayer circle Friday. Okay. All right. Love you. Mwah! Thanks for joining me. Oh, I always hate to shut off the button. Oh, bye guys.